What's going on, everybody? Good to be here with you all. Amazing to be here. It's Taco Tuesday. This is Jordan with Conquer Trading and Investing, getting you ready here for our live stream. Got to make sure we walk away from this session with a lot more clarity. It's rough out there. I got my fam in here. You guys are all beautiful. Thank you for the beautiful warm welcome this morning. Thank you for making me feel at peace. Thank you for me feeling the calm, the love, the support. That's why we do what we do together each and every day. You all are absolutely outstanding. I'm grateful for you. All right, let's take a look at it. We got a lot to cover today. Actually, we got a lot of ground to cover in making sure that we all understand where we are. Yesterday, we put in a beautiful session. People walk away with not being clear. There was a good tip shared. Hey, listen, maybe it's better you just sit back and listen for a moment here. Get the clarity you need. It's hard doing that if you're caught up discussing. A lot to cover over here. Bitcoin's trading down 4% today at 37,250 after a nice little bump up on Monday. Someone noted over in the comments this morning as we're getting started, maybe we're going to be putting in a higher low. That remains to be seen. Right now, I'm going to give it to you right from the beginning and right now. Ready? Here, this is what we accomplished yesterday. This is what we were talking about yesterday. Yes, we were going to focus in on the technicals. It's what we are, and it's what we are and who we do. It's who we do, Scooby-Doo. Guys, you got to lighten up. You hear what Jan said a year ago today? Bitcoin was trading at $8,800. Bitcoin's trading at $37,000, right? Raul, this was put out by Gene this morning. Raul putting out this really nice thread. I haven't had a chance to digest it. I read through it, and basically what he's saying is we just received a major shock. He's calling it a VAR shock test, and nothing happened. The Fed didn't have to step in. No one needed to be bailed out. You didn't see any type of lending platforms going under. Why? Because they're holding collateral against their loans, right? Yeah, people got liquidated. Well, people took risks. People didn't manage their risk, right? People did not have that collateral aside in case their loans were going to be close to be getting liquidated and were under pressure, right? But the firms themselves, they're still standing. That's a big deal. I'm going to go ahead and retweet this over here. I'll go ahead and like it. It's liked on my page. If you want to go ahead and catch up with that after the stream. We're trading at Bitcoin $37,000, right? In the bull market here, everything looking good. Yeah, and if you're a little shaken and you're a little scared, good. No one ever said it was going to be easy. No one ever said it was going to be easy. Actually, what we said is many are called and few will be chosen, right? Many will walk away from this experience 2021 bull market, and when they see the meme, right, of the Bitcoin bull market and what everyone thinks that it's like nice and easy and it's a straight line up, and then what what it's like with these enormous obstacles and like and canyons and like you'll know what it means, right? Everyone is stronger for it, no question about it. Everyone will be a little bit smarter for it. That's for sure. All right, we are looking, by the way, right now at a couple of things, right? People are wondering, hey, listen, when people are like, listen, Jordan, could you focus on the technicals? What they're trying to tell me is, hey, Jordan, could you tell me if I should buy or sell right now or what's going on, right? People don't want to hear the truth. Here's the truth. Right now, we still do not know what's going on. We have two options that could play out from here. Option A, option B. Option A is the case that I believe is going to play out. Option B is what we're watching out for. We know our signs and signals if it doesn't. I drew in this beautiful trend line yesterday. This trend line over here, right? And I said, why we're below this trend line, things are still uncertain. Once we get above this trend line, things are going to look a lot more, let's say, comfortable. They're not comfortable right now, right? Anyone who's in a rush, you didn't learn your lesson. If you're in a rush, right? I got neutral when things became uncertain, right? It's right over here. Watch the live stream, May the 14th, Friday. And I'm like, this doesn't make sense. Bitcoin's above 50,000. And I'm like, I'm getting neutral because something's going on that does not make sense, right? And now we're down over here. And I'm like, look, I'm still neutral. There's no reason to jump back in, right? Now we're gonna break it down. I want to make sure that everyone stays with me, okay? There's obviously different strategies of whether if you're just buying unleveraged spot Bitcoin or if you're trading with light leverage. There's different strategies to deploy at different times. But right now, right? And by the way, you all know I put out that tweet that I'm buying the dip. That meant the unleveraged spot Bitcoin buying the dip, right? And if anyone's buying the dip down here, Bitcoin, in my opinion, is on sale. I didn't plan on adding any more to my position, right? I had already been fully positioned before the halving. Before the halving, I was fully positioned. I did not plan on adding any spot Bitcoin. This is an opportunity that I believe that I want to take advantage of. I believe that come the fall, Bitcoin is going to be significantly higher, right? I feel really strong and really good about that, right? Not to mention the fear index through the roof. Oh, I like that. I like when everyone's scared. The only reason that they're scared is because they don't understand what's going on because they're trading from their emotions, right? All right. When I say things are not clear, there are a couple of things that need to happen to bring more clarity. I don't know which is going to happen. All right. Let's talk about it really quick. Let me get off the log scale, right? I don't like, if you look at the log scale, this doesn't look that bad, right? But we're not trading on the log. Let me come back over here. Let me pull up the 8-hour first. Let me zoom in to see. This is my view. This is what I'm looking at, right? Do I see any type of clarity? Jordan, could you focus on the technicals? You want to focus on the technicals, right? Do you remember over here, by the way? What is this? This is probably the 24th, the 20. There you go, May the 23rd, right? I put it out for you right over there, and I gave you the cheat sheet at the time, getting ready, setting it up. Let's start from there. We jump down to the 2-hour. What happened? We broke above the lower trend line, came into the resistance, right? We came into the resistance of the outer trend line, and then what? Resistance held, back up, resumption off, breaking the outer trend line, right? I don't think, this is the entry for those that are aggressive. I don't think it calls for a time to be aggressive right now. The markets are under pressure. There's zero reason to be aggressive in this moment. Zero reason right now. Now, when I say aggressive, by the way, just to define terms and keep everyone with me, that means trading with any type of leverage. That's aggressive. There's no need. There's no, when the market is, when the bull is roaring and it's a little bit easier and you got the momentum, at that point, you could trade a little bit more aggressively. This is a time of uncertainty. There's no need to jump in and take risks, right? Either which way, point it out there. So it's important to track what's going on. By the way, if you're watching live today, at any point, if you feel so called, smash the like button. I know when I'm watching Heath's live stream, I know if I'm watching Brandon's live stream and someone's like, hey, smash the like button, I'm like, oh yeah, I want to smash the like button. Just a friendly reminder, lots of love to all those watching the live streams. The replays. I love your comments. I feel like I'm there with you when you do that. Thank you for that. All right. So this is obviously the first sign of repair that we're watching. This was the first sign of repair. We set it up ahead of time. Would you focusing on the technical, setting up when and where with that precision timing, helping everyone with that gentle guidance over there. And then what has happened since? We've broken out and now we're coming back in. And whether or not we come back, whether or not we put in a low somewhere over here or come back down in, even testing this trend line, seeing that holds as support, or if we break that back down and even take out this 30,000 low over here from the dump, I have no idea. I have no idea. Things are uncertain. No one has the certainty right now, right? And that's a good place to be. It's really important. It's really a strong position. If I come out, let me pop over here really quick. Mission control. We're going to get back to it a little later. I'm going to have a beautiful meeting today with Ian and Ted. We're going to be getting to it. If you come over here to the pinned tweet over here, one of the most important tweets over there. Let me find it. There's something here about being on the sidelines is a strong position. Let me find it in there. Waiting to attack on the sidelines is a strong position. It's a position of strength, right? If your timing is off, even if you're right about the trade, you're going to lose money, right? Right now, being on the sidelines, right? Now, listen, I remain fully positioned with my core position. And not only that, I added here on the dip. I bought Bitcoin yesterday. Now, I wasn't able, I had to add funds. Yesterday was Monday. I sent the wire and I added funds all the way up here. Let's call it 39,000. Whatever the price was, I don't know, but I'll call it 39,000. And I feel good and comfortable about that. Really strong and comfortable about that. My core position obviously remains fully positioned, and now I added to it. I didn't expect to add to it. This is an opportunity. Why is it an opportunity? Bull market phase over here to see a drawdown of 53%. Ooh, I like that. Yeah, I'm going to take advantage of that. That's how I feel. All right. Now, sidelines everywhere else, and this could be for a prolonged period of time. We don't know what happens next. We've laid out our options, right? By the way, let me jump in over here as everyone's watching Bitcoin trade down, 53%. Raul noting, hey, listen, no bailouts were needed. No one went under. Wow. That's a strong signal out to the institutions over there. And how did institutional money react yesterday? Ray Dalio, the hedge fund, Bridgewater, largest hedge fund in the world. And they said, by money, not by returns, by the amount of money they manage. And Ray Dalio, I'm buying Bitcoin. I own Bitcoin, and I prefer it to bonds. What does that mean? It means that all these, you remember we've been talking about this? This was Greg Foss. The first one that brought this up, I believe, was Gene. Gene brought this to our attention. This was on Preston's podcast over here, the Investors Podcast. Bitcoin in the bond market. People are wondering, where's all the money going to come from? How does Bitcoin make it to 100,000, 200, 300, $500,000? Where's all that money coming from? Greg's been letting you know it's going to be coming from the credit markets. It's going to be coming from the bond markets. Do you think the treasuries are a small market? Oh my goodness. You think that, Ray Dalio detailing it, it's getting risky holding these treasuries and there's no yield on it. I think I prefer Bitcoin. People are scared, and then you're seeing the institutions, the sharks, making their moves. Anyway, let's get back into it. We're going slow. Why are we going slow? It's not the time to spit fire. It's the time to make sure that everyone understands that right now is a time of uncertainty. Right now, being on the sidelines is really strong. That does not mean that you need to try to get in there and force something to happen. Could you focus on the technicals, Jordan, so that I can make a trade with greater clarity? No. You want to know what's up? Stay on the sidelines. It's uncertain. If you didn't listen to me last Friday when I'm like, something's wrong, I don't know what it is, the waters are muddied, and I'm going neutral, right? I'm getting on the sidelines, and you're still and you stayed in because you just I don't know, maybe you had the fear of missing out on the upside. Is that why you took risks that you shouldn't have took? Did you think that you were going to miss out on the upside? I don't know what your reasoning was. I know what mine was. Something didn't make sense. If there's no clarity, I want to be on the sidelines waiting for that clarity, waiting to jump in. If you're in a rush to make money, it only means you're in a rush to lose money, right? You got to trade like a predator. Beautiful, Joseph. Big shout out to you, my brother. Big shout out to you. Gus from Truth Capital. I don't know if you're here. I don't know if you're watching. If you are, lots of love, my brother. Big shout out over to Gus. All right, what we're watching over here and waiting for right now is further clarity. When that happens, I don't know yet. Okay, we have some markers. We're going to have some guys. Let's talk about that a little bit further. Now, if we come back down right now and take out this $30,000 print, I would be very surprised. I would be very surprised. And if that happened, by the way, meaning from here, we come back down, then that could be, looking to take out some stops. That could be a quick event, and that still could lead to a quick recovery. That's a possibility. That's not option A. That's not option B. We'll call that option, whatever. It's a possibility. I'm telling you right now, today is Tuesday, the 25th of May. I'm telling you, if that happens, watch out. That could be just a quick stop punt over here. Heath is a master at this stuff. If you're not watching Heath on Trade Talk, you got to pay attention. You got to pay attention, right? What else, right? So that is just a possibility. Do I think that's going to happen? No, I don't think that's going to happen. Watch out for it. What do I think is going to happen? What's next? Well, I don't know how it unfolds. I know that anytime we trade up over here and continue trading up, at any time, we have the possibility of rolling over, right? And if that happens and we take out the low over here, at that point, it looks like it's option B. It looks like we're going to an accumulation phase and we're going to have to trade accordingly. That will offer opportunity, by the way, if that's happening, if we point it out, to accumulate down lower, because that's what the smart money will be doing. They're not in a rush. That doesn't play out quickly. If that's occurring, we'll have ample opportunity to position ourselves with laser-like precision and accuracy, right? That will be a gift. We will like that, right? Is there a possibility that we're able to reclaim this line over here and get back going and say, okay, things are looking pretty good now? And when will that happen by? We have Ted putting out some beautiful work over here, right? Ted using the past cycles, the light blue one on top, that's the 2013 cycle. The dark blue, that's the 2016 cycle. We're lining them up from the mid-cycle dip right here, right? And he put this out, by the way, on I believe on the 24th. This morning he updated it. And you can see the little bounce we put in overnight, the little bounce, right? Now, the reason we're looking at this, it gives us some goalposts, some guides. We're not looking for sure that on this date over here on June the 6th that we're trading, above 45,000, in between 45,000 and 50,000. If we are, by the way, and that's not far away, price right now trading at 37,000. We saw yesterday price put in a $9,000 candle, right? Do you think that Bitcoin, by the way, has the possibility of trading at 45,000 within the next week or tomorrow? Yeah, all those things are possible. Really quick, let me come back over here on the daily time frame. Let me just jump back with you to 2013. And the reason I want to do that is some people, let me go ahead and next this over here. I can hide that, right? Let me hide that over here. People pointing out that they believe that we are resembling over here the 2012 cycle very much. I personally, obviously you all know very clearly, I believe that we continue to average both the 2012 and 2016 cycle, right? Underperforming in volatility to the upside, the 2012 cycle. Underperforming to the downside, the 2012 cycle. Underperforming in distance of consolidation, but overperforming to the upside in volatility of the 2016 cycle. Overperforming now for the first time to the downside of 2016 cycle, and it remains to be seen how long this consolidation phase goes. I have a feeling it's not going to last as long as the 2012, and it's going to be shorter. I'm sorry, it's going to be longer than the 2016. We'll see if it maintains and continues to be an average. If you looked over, though, what happened in 2013, I'm going to just jump back in time with you really quick to when we hit that mid-cycle shakeout over there, right? I want to find out. It was on the 3-day that I did this. Yeah, on the 3-day that I was looking at it this morning. This is what I want to just jump over to you. And now zoom out, right? There's the mid-cycle shakeout over here. Here's the mid-cycle. How long? This is 3 days. Let me zoom in just to get a little bit perspective. Why am I not getting the feel that I want, the chart that I want? There's no rush. Today's a slow session, making sure everyone walks away feeling good, So we had this huge down bar, by the way, going into that mid-cycle shakeout in 2012, in the 2013 bull market. And then you could see it took roughly 6 days, a week over here to recover from the top of that bar. All right, let's jump back over here to real time and see what that looks like over here. And let's look for that big bar. Here's the big bar, right? Do you think that in a week's time, we have the possibility of regaining $42,000, $43,000? And if that's happening, will that be resembling? We're not looking for it to match. We're not looking for it to match to the date, to the time. Yes, it's true. If you go back to the 2017 bull run, 2016 cycle, the same day exactly how many days that the mid-cycle shakeout occurred, the mid-cycle dip occurred this cycle as well. These things are, they're not just rhyming, they're lining up, but we use them as guides, right? If next week we're trading back up here, is that going to feel good? If we're trading by June the 6th in this range between 45,000 and 50,000, is that showing us that we're leaning more towards option A happening? Absolutely, unquestionably. Same thing over here, and I'm going to show you on the chart just so you can see this upper line that I've put out for you. This line over here, this trend line over here. This is our line of safety. Watch where my mouse is on June the 19th, on July the 19th, right? You can see over here, $44,000, right? Is it possible that we are able to trade up to $52,000? There's a guide over here, right? Let me see, July the 19th, I'm sorry, right? We would like to be in the range over here of somewhere around $68,000. And if we are, and if that's healthy, that's going to say to all of us, right? This is all situational awareness, that we are pretty much lined up. Hold on, let me pull it up. Looking for Ian's chart over here, right? If that's happening, option A and the model, we're going to continue to lean in hard to. That's going to say that we have all the situational awareness points continuing to lead us and showing us that we're on track. Now, it just rhymes. It doesn't repeat exactly. You could see over here that we've come down pretty far in this current cycle, mid-cycle shakeout over here. Let me take a sip of water, everyone. It's Wednesday, by the way. It is Wednesday. It's time for Head Stack. It's Taco Tuesday. I'm going to drop some beats here where I take a sip of water and come back into it.
Markets, analyzing the charts, hitting projected targets within the margin. Find the flow, sip the matcha, and wait for the waves to come in with lobsters. The kind-hearted Jordan Fosters, working smarter, not harder to move the markers. On his way to conquer, trading and investing, drinking the coffee while reflecting on the blessing. The markets are not crashing, the prices might be slashing just to pretend they're in fashion. Hit the like button, comments, and smash it. Boom, boom, Jordan in the room, grab the bull by the horns and to the moon. Flow from the plateau, make the play. Boom, boom, it's a taco day.
It's a taco day. It's a taco day.
All right, it's Tuesday. I'm sure we're going to come back to that in a little bit. I did see a couple of really good questions. We're going to take a look at them and get into it over here. It's too soon to listen. The whole point of this session here today is for you all to change your time preference. All those focused in on what they should do now, right? I'm buying the dip, spot Bitcoin unleveraged. I think it's an opportunity. I did not plan on that. I was fully positioned before the halving, not expecting for the duration of the bull market to add any more spot Bitcoin. This was an opportunity. I feel like taking advantage of it. How nice that Ray Dalio felt the same thing at the same time. Good stuff, right? Now, when we're talking here about leaning in, those that want to get a little bit more aggressive, right now there's a lot of uncertainty to the downside and to the upside, right? We don't just change your time preference, okay? You have to lower it a little bit. Everyone's got this, everyone lives in a high time preference world. They want everything and they want it right now. Jordan, could you focus on the technicals? I want to take a trade because I feel like I'm missing out. No, now's not the time. Now's the time to get the awareness we need. There's a couple of really good questions that I want to get back into. We're looking, option A is that we do have a V shape over here and that the recovery is fast and is quick, right? Until we break above this line over here, there's major caution out there. We could even trade all the way into this line over here, somewhere around $52,000, $53,000, be rejected over here and come back down and test the low, right? Take out the low. And if that happens, then all of a sudden, very quickly, we are leaning towards option B. This is going to be an extended accumulation phase. What that does to the 4-year cycle, we'll talk about in 1 second. It doesn't have to come all the way up there. That's major resistance up there. It could come down over here. There's resistance over in this area, horizontal resistance, and it's pretty strong and it's pretty big, somewhere around $45,000, $46,000. We could get rejected over there, come back down, take out that low. And again, that's another clear sign that we're headed towards some type of sideways accumulation phase, right? Will that change the duration of the 4-year cycle, right? Oh, look, Andy, if we see an extended accumulation, does that indicate a different type of cycle? The only way we know if the 4-year cycle is broken, if we're no longer seeing a 4-year cycle, if we don't have that cycle peak, come that zone between the middle of September and October. If we never see that cycle peak, that blow off top, that's an indication that something's entirely different. This model's broken, and it's not like resetting itself or anything. Like the model's done, the model's broken. Now, I give that a very low probability of that happening, an extraordinary low probability of that happening. We'll see what happens. We'll play it out together, right? Andre saying, look, my only fear is that we've entered a new 4-year bull market. It seems like a possibility. Listen, we're going to talk about the cycle in a little bit, Andre. Anything's possible. Anything. I'm not going to tell you no, because who knows, right? I don't think so. My own, for whatever it's worth to you, I sincerely don't think so. The 4-year cycle is the whole catalyst is set off by the halving event, which takes the miner's reward and cuts it in half, causing a supply shock throughout the system, right? This was just a 53% correction. This correction, by the way, and just want everyone clear because it's important just to kind of like, what do you say, like drill into you, to drill into everyone. And I'm gonna do it with a visual aid. For me, things visual are really important, right? What we're seeing happening over here, though, to date, even with this drawdown of 53%, is not as high as this 70% drawdown, this 60% drawdown over here. It's less. It's an average of the two, of this 40% drawdown. It's actually almost dead on average, right? And that's what it continues to be. Now, I don't think this is any indication that the cycle is different or that the cycle is broken. Everything continues to say that it continues to be an average. Now, there are indications that we could see, right? If we're seeing, by the way, throughout this zone, let's call it this is all to July the 19th. Let's say from the July the 19th and on, if we're trading, below 55,000 Bitcoin, below 50,000 Bitcoin, something is very wrong. No question about it. Something is different. That's not too far in the future. Really, think about it. That's only 2 months in the future when we're saying something would be very wrong, right? Now, I expect we're going to be up in this zone over here. I really do. And that's not even too far. We're talking a month from now, 30 days from now, we should have that clarity that we want and that we expect. Okay? Listen, 30 days. Come on. People want it today. They want it right now. That's not how it works, right? We'll come back to that in 1 second. There was something else I wanted to talk about really quick, and this was the pi cycle over here. People are saying in hindsight the pi cycle cross played out. No, I don't think so. I strongly do not think so. I think what played out over here is a mid-cycle shakeout, right? Mid-cycle shakeout, mid-cycle shakeout, mid-cycle shakeout. I think it's a mid-cycle shakeout. Now, there's no question that I think that a couple of things went on over here, and the timing of Elon's tweet, right? And also whatever coordinated manipulation happened with that massive leverage in the system that was able to go ahead and just have this massive liquidation loop, it all played a role, right? But that's not the pi. The pi cycle cross occurs when price is going through a blow off top. This is 3 months consolidation. Now, is it a coincidence? Yeah, it's a coincidence. You all know that the creator prior to the cross was like, this is not valid, right? Now, if price then pulls back and you're like, oh, see, it was valid. Well, every other time there's been a pi cycle cross, by the way, the price has come off by at least 70%. So price came off 53%, not 70% yet. Could it still? Yes. Would something be drastically different? Yes. Would we be averaging the previous 2 cycles if that happened? No. Are we averaging them right now? Yes. We continue to average not only on the upside, not only on the downside, but also the consolidation period, right? So I don't think so. A lot of people are stuck on that. And listen, form your own opinion. I'm just giving you my opinion. I don't have the answers. I don't have the truth, let's say. I just have my insight, my experience, and I'm just sharing it with you. Take it however you like, right? And do with it with what you like. That's why we're here. All right. There you go. That's true. Massive. Massive, massive, massive. All right. What else are we looking at? That's the biggest strength today, right? This is so important right now. This is the thing that I wanted to really get across to all of you right now. It's okay right now to have the posture that things are unclear, that I'm waiting for further clarity. But by the way, I had that all the way up here, right? Last Friday, I don't know. My exact words were, I don't know what's going on. This is the first time since I started this YouTube channel that I'm looking at the asset and telling you I do not know what's going on. Now, that even includes the March 2020 liquidity crisis. I knew exactly what was going on, right? In this particular time, I'm like, listen, I don't know what's going on. The water is completely muddied. I'm going to wait for that all to settle. And that has not changed at all. I still have that posture that things got a lot more unclear, by the way. That unfolded quickly, and things went from being unclear to being wow. And keeping that posture, I don't know yet what's going on. Of course, we're able to go ahead and we're able to watch for the repair. The repair happened over here. Very clean, very easy. Does that mean that you need to jump in? Why? What's the rush, right? What's the rush? There is no rush. That's the lesson for today. By the way, go ahead and smash the like button if it's coming across to you. The importance of having that position that it's okay not to be in a rush, that it's okay to wait for the market to become clearer for you before you decide to make any decisions. Taking a trade, taking a position is a major decision. There's simply no rush to do it until you have that certainty. We have the team, right? We have Ted, Ian working with me closely. We're going on a Zoom call right after this live stream, working it out together, making sure that we keep all our situational awareness points, making sure we keep each other in check, right? In case someone gets it like they have a view that they're sticking with, even if it's wrong, and making sure that we could then help present it to the team, CTM, each and every one of you, with the clarity we need to move forward together as a community, right? That's where we are right now. There's absolutely no reason today, with the uncertainty going on, to jump in and make a decision. Again, asterisk, if you're stepping in here and you believe that Bitcoin over here, is going to be higher, whether it's 3 months from now, 6 months from now, 12 months from now, or 3 years from now, and you're buying spot Bitcoin, I think it's a great place to buy. I think this is a gift, an unforeseen event, right? In hindsight, after the fact, oh yeah, well, okay, that makes sense. I thought this 30% drawdown over here, it was a 30% drawdown. Coming into this event over here, we have been seeing less downside volatility than the previous cycle. And a 30% drawdown over here, taking out that last swing low, I thought this is the shakeout. For sure I did. There's no question about that. In hindsight, seeing a significant shakeout drawdown that averages the two, then I'm like, okay, that makes sense. I didn't see it in real time. No way. I did not see it in real time at all. I wasn't looking for this. I was not looking for the dump. I did not at any point in time, even when I got neutral, think that a dump was like to this severity was coming into the market. That was not on my radar at all. And by the way, I have a hard and fast rule. I do not short Bitcoin in the bull market at all, right? That's a hard and fast rule. I'll get on the side, but I'm not shorting it. All right. What else? We got what else? Let's have a little bit of fun for a second. Let's take a pause. We put out this poll yesterday. Where do you think you are in the cycle, right? I gave a few different points. There are some people who think that the market top was put in, right? That this was a market top, right? Without a blow off top. Peter Brandt is one of the people calling the top of the Bitcoin market over here mid-cycle, right? So I asked, or I'm asking, do you think we're in complacency? Do you think that we just sold off and are going to bounce a little bit and then boom, go into the massive bear market? If people could think that we're right over here right now where my mouse is, coming off the bottom and about to trade up over here and entering that. About 20% of the people that voted, 2,500 people think that. That's pretty significant. That's a lot of people, And I don't know if they're right or wrong. I mean, I don't believe they are, obviously, with the clarity that I present to you, but they could be wrong, right? We have the optimism, right? Over here in this area, a lot of 20% of the people also think that we're in optimism, that this rally is real, that price is coming up over here. I think they're wrong. There's no way that I could see that we're in the optimism phase right now. And listen, if just because I think they're wrong, I mean, it's not a personal attack. I just happen to think that answer is wrong. I can't see that for all. Now, if we come back over here over the next whatever, and by mid-July, we're trading around 66,000 and people feel that we're in the optimism stage, well, I think you're right. I think you're dead on. I think you're exactly where we are, and maybe that's what they're foreseeing happening. I don't know. We have a couple of people, also 17%, right around that 20%, right? Also think that we're in the belief stage. Belief stage is way higher, right? Time to get fully invested. Listen, I think it's wrong. I think that, that's going into the second wave. When I say second wave, let me pull up Ian's chart over here. Like, this is the belief stage over here, in my opinion. We're over here, in my opinion, mid-cycle shakeout, right? Belief stage, we're pretty far from there, in my view. I'm just sharing my view right now, right? And then we have the hope stage, right? Hope is that we're over here in this area, and I think that's pretty good. Now, Justin over here put out a comment. Is Justin's comment over here? Hold on, let me try to refresh that. Justin was saying, I kind of feel like that we're in the disbelief stage, and I could kind of go with that a little bit. That could really be correct, right? This is a suckers rally, except that, like, I use this as the halving. Like, for me, this is the halving, right? And but like, I think that's a good guess over here, disbelief. That we're in disbelief. This is actually a big shakeout, or maybe this is the big shakeout over here in disbelief. And and this rally is going to fail. A lot of people believe that. I really do like that a lot, and also, like, where I feel we're at is over here. Like, this is, the mid-cycle shakeout. Like, this is Bitcoin over here taking out $20,000, right? Going into here, 40,000, 60,000, and then the mid-cycle shakeout, right? And then you're looking, how would this work? Would this be wave one, wave two, and then the vertical blow off top? If you're thinking this is the disbelief, right? Or this is the disbelief here, and you're kind of looking at wave one, wave two, and this is the blow off. I also see that, so either one of those, in my opinion, is where we're at, but I view this as the halving. I view that as the halving event, and I think that we're right over here. I think that we will be in optimism, right? If we're able to go ahead and to regain this level over here. If we're trading back above $68,000 a month from now, I think that a lot of people will be very optimistic, very comfortable, very optimistic, and then beyond that, if we even come up a little further and then all of a sudden start taking out some higher levels, 80,000, 90,000 belief. Oh yeah, for sure. So that's where I think we're at in the cycle. This does a better job, I believe, right? And this is where I believe this is showing more towards crypto, the Bitcoin cycle, not the Wall Street cheat sheet, because Bitcoin's more volatile, no question about that. And I can see right over here, this looks like the mid-cycle shakeout to me, right into the hope stage, right? And I think that if we get back on track over the next month or so, next 30 days, I think that we're going to have a lot of optimism in the space, rightfully so. Earned optimism. That's where I think we're at right now. So listen, I'm going to keep this as a reminder for almost each and every session we do. Right now, I think that we're right over here where my mouse is. We're just bouncing up, right? at any point, if we roll over quickly, I said it at the beginning of the session, I don't think that we're seeing an accumulation phase. I think that would be some type of liquidity event where we're taking out a lot of stops. And I think that you see a possibly quick recovery from there. I give that a low probability of that occurring. That's not even option A or option B, but it is a possibility. And I want you aware of it ahead of time. That way, no one's freaking out if it occurs. We want to keep everyone calm. Now, if we come up higher, and I pointed out some levels, now this is the ST, right, into the AR, that could unfold and that could occur if at any point, whether we come in towards, between 44 and 46, 48,000 into that area and we roll over, then, we have to watch what happens because we could consolidate within this area and then boom. But if we roll over and then take out that low, at that point, that's our signal that option B is now the base case, that we are entering some type of prolonged accumulation phase, and we will set ourselves to be able to accumulate accordingly with precision. Okay? Now, the other thing that could happen, and obviously everyone's aware of it, is option A, and that is that we break this trend line. We have some guides over here about what we're looking for, and yes, by June the 6th, roughly 10 days from now, 11, 12 days from now, if we're trading between 50,000 and 45,000, which is completely realistic, we're right on time. We haven't broken out outside of that range yet, right? Between 50,000, if we would still be under this trend line, but still right on time. And then thereafter, soon then after broke out, then we have to say, okay, this really looks like option A is playing out, and we have that situational awareness we need. Now, some people are like, Jordan, could you focus on the technicals? You spend an hour talking, and you don't say, did you miss it? Did you miss it? That's where we are right now. And this is right there. Like, listen, my brother, go back and watch the most important thing that you could do, not only for today, but that you could do for any type of career that you're going to spend in investing and trading right now, will be to go back to watch this entire video from the beginning to where we are right now without doing anything else or distracting yourself. Because then you will have that answer not only about when you should buy, you will not ever be asking that a question again in your entire life. That is, and listen, you have two choices right now. You have the red pill or the blue pill. You could continue with the blue pill and you're going to continue going on in your life with that super high time preference. Is now the time to buy, and you're going to get wrecked and you're going to lose money and you're never going to make anything of yourself. Or you could take the red pill right now and make the best decision that you've ever made when it comes to the markets. You could stop whatever you're doing, go back and watch this live stream with an open mind, and you will come out on the right side and strong. I hope you choose the red. I hope you choose the red over there. And then listen, Juan, you're right, but you have to take the red pill to get to the orange pill. You have to take you can't get to the orange pill without taking the red pill. You got to take it. You got to take it. Wow. I mean, we got off signal noise. You got to be able to, you got to get away from the noise, everyone. There's a lot of noise out there, right? And you got to learn how to just, not be distracted by noise out there. Let's take a look at what's going on across the other markets over here. By the way, you saw Ethereum. I wanted to tweet out over here, by the way. I wanted to tweet out over here. We got a lot going on at home. I wanted to watch Ethereum. Now, I did not expect Ethereum to shoot up over here. By the way, what was that in off the low? 62%? Oh my God. Listen, zero chance that I was looking for anything like that whatsoever. I only wanted to say watch Ethereum. If Ethereum starts recovering, that's going to be a sign that you're seeing Bitcoin soon to follow. That is what's playing out. Some people might be wondering right now what's going on. I think Ian was very early in letting everyone know that Ethereum seems to be, you got the wrong channel if you're talking about, other assets. You're distracting other people if you're talking about coffee. If you're talking about natural gas, you're distracting other people. You're on the wrong channel. Right? Ian was talking about, listen, in this cycle, Ethereum is a much more asset than it was in 2016, right? In the 2017 bull market, it's actually tracking Bitcoin much more closely, and Bitcoin cycle much more closely. That continues over here. That continues. Something to really pay attention. What is our Heath? That's Bitcoin. Bitcoin and understanding Bitcoin's role in the financial system is the orange pill, right? Yeah. So listen, Dave, let me address this really quick. The question is coming in. This is building off of Raul's tweet, right? Raul was tweeting out there that, listen, we just saw basically a shock to the system, a VAR shock, he calls it, and like everyone's still standing and still good. So, there we go. Sorry about that. So he said distractions. You know, you get first the warnings, and then you got to go. So what we're looking at over here, though, by the way, is BlockFi, and what they did was, instead of sending dollars to people, $700 was supposed to be the reward payout. They sent 700 Bitcoin in one case, in one example. Now, do you still have confidence in them is the question, right? I mean, we've seen banks do this as well, right? I mean, you still keep money at the bank, right? It was a complete mess up. It was some guy on a desk somewhere, right? Obviously not the management who did this, made this mistake. Probably the guy doesn't have a job anymore, but listen, that was a pretty big mistake. No question about that. But as far as BlockFi, you know, being like their reserves were not even put remotely under pressure. They're sitting on a pile of cash. They've raised a ton of money. I don't think that they're feeling any type of pressure. Do I still have confidence with them? I wired money to them yesterday and bought Bitcoin with them yesterday. So yes, I still have confidence with them. Okay. A touch of Brooklyn. Yeah, Brooklyn's a little more hardcore than myself, you know. But yeah, you know, the Beastie Boys. Big shout out over there. All right, let's keep going. All right, I wanted to take a look at some other markets over here now that we have the clarity that we want and that we need, right? Let's start with the S&P 500. We left it off yesterday, right? Giving it about 2 or 3 minutes worth of attention. By the way, you know, I see Market Watch putting out article after article, update after update. It's like watching the news. They're like, alert! The world is exploding, you know? There's nothing going on. We had that awareness. It's just this one line over here, right? And it served us well. It held that support. We've drew it in before it's held. It held that support once, another touch. We're back over here. We're just a stone throws off all-time highs. Everyone's worried. The markets are not crashing. If we lose this trend line over here, right, that will be the signal that we're looking for some type of correction. Something's off and we'll be tracking it. It's not happened today. And by the way, that's just for now, right? When this line needs to be adjusted, if price goes on to make, you know, a new all-time high or something changes, we'll be adjusting. But right now, that's all we need to look at and worry about. Same thing over here with the Nasdaq. It's looking great. Those that follow and watch each and every day, right, they understand what's going on as we're looking at Bitcoin breaking out over here from the trend line, breaking above the horizontal resistance. We said once we get above there, then the Nasdaq is looking all clear to recover and go towards its all-time high. Breakout, retest, resumption. You can see it on the 8-hour. It should be on the 8-hour. Breakout, retest, resumption. By the way, for those that are just joining us right now with this trend line, remember this trend line? I cloned it, by the way, this trend line over here. I cloned it and put it touching off of over here, and that was our indication that this was rolling over. The first warning sign that it was rolling over, right? And then we were able to watch it and track it before it happened, right? When these lines that we're looking here in the NASDAQ, if you trade in crypto, it's the same exact thing. It's why the course that we have, the CTM course, it's done on foreign exchange, Forex, a pure market. If you learn how to trade there, you could trade anywhere. The one caveat is this. On crypto, during the bull market phase, I take the breakout. I don't wait for the retest because more often than not, you do not get a retest. It's breakout, okay? More often than not, you don't get the breakout. Now, on every other asset, every other market, we look for breakout, retest, resumption, never taking the breakout. It's a very low probability trade. to take the breakout. You can even see here on the 2 hour though. I want to just come back. We looked at it this morning already. Let me jump down over here. When we were looking at, you can see the move into the resistance, right? The retest, the resumption off. And there's the breakout. And after, this is the 2 hour. People wonder why I go on the 2 hour. What unfolds in crypto is like, you know, hyper time for other markets. What takes 3 months to unfold in traditional markets unfolds in 3 days on crypto. I'm just showing you when I go on the 2 hour, the precision. I don't think that you should be looking at the 2 hour for trading. If you're looking at a small time frame, it's gonna actually cause you to trade more often. You're gonna be much better off trading less. Okay? Do not hang out on the 2 hour if you see me looking at the 2 hour. A lot of community is focused on Bitcoin. A lot of emotions. People did get hurt. If there is time at the end of the stream, then ask about other markets. That makes a lot of sense to me. But the reason that we're focused on crypto and Bitcoin, right, is because, listen, this is the bull market phase. This is when it's the most important time to be focused in on there, right? And I've done that before. I've showed you all, like, listen, you want to take a look at copper, right? And you could say, well, you know, how's copper doing, you know, this year, right? And you go back down to January, right? Where's January? The markets are closed over here. 27%. Wow. Okay. Listen, it's not interesting, right? What did Ethereum do yesterday? 63%? Oh, okay. All right. It's just not interesting, right? And we called it out as it happened, as these things broke out. That's when we got everyone looking at them and involved. But you gotta, you know, for trading in it. Anyway, that's a waste of time. Let's look at the dollar over here. You know, as we continue to be sucked down towards this support line, whether or not we're going to break, this would be a big event. All right. Let me come back down to the 3-day. If anyone's interested in the DXY, by the way, I highly suggest going to the channel, looking at January, right? On January the 4th or January the 5th, I put out a video with the DXY and I did a long-term view showing this channel that we're in, right? Price at that point, I believe right over here was trading down outside of the channel into this line of support. And I said probably what happens next, we could come down even as far as 88.40, but we're going to come back in after this breakdown and retest that channel. It got very tricky over here, right there, as we broke above the channel on the retest, right? And as it happened, you know, I had a flip when I first got short the dollar. I had a flip and say, okay, you know, regardless of what I think, I'm going to follow what price is showing me, right? And then really quickly, again, flipping back as we then, this was a fake out. And generally, fake outs lead to big moves. You have to be watching what's happening over here as we're coming back down for now the breakdown, the retest, and we're looking to resume off. We haven't yet, but if we take out this 88, 88, 89.43, we are resuming off of the breakdown, retest, resumption, this major channel. This is going back all the way to 2005. I mean, you know, 16-year channel over here. And if we resume off of over here, we got this light bit of support at 88.40, and beyond there, that, you know, it's a quick meltdown. There is some support over in this area over here. It's somewhere around, maybe someone else could give a better look, but somewhere around 83.50. You know, there's light support over there. This is the bigger one down towards 80. So this could be a massive move setting up here on the dollar. It's a big deal. It's a big deal because it is king dollar, right? It's king dollar, and if you're seeing the dollar firm up, that's going to affect all markets. If you're seeing the dollar continue to weaken, it's going to affect all markets. Let's take a look over here at this. I mean, listen, we could kind of like continue keeping our distance from gold and silver over here because we lined it up so well, right? When we broke down outside of this trend line, it was get on the sidelines. Things are not clear. It's exactly what happened over here. Things are not clear. Get on the sidelines, right? And then we happen to have a double bottom. We don't buy the double bottom. We happen to have a double bottom, and then we lined it up as we got back into here. You know, that was the first. I said, no, watch silver. You know, we're watching what's happening on gold, but silver should be the play over here. You know, and right or wrong, I don't know. We could check out the gold to silver ratio to see which has been outperforming. But nevertheless, we lined it up at silver. Here you had the breakout, the retest took a while, and finally resuming off. It's a lot clearer on silver. Silver was the one that we were lining up with that accuracy, right? And you can see it. Let me come back down to the 8-hour over here, right? For a long time, keeping on the sidelines. This line was dark for a long time, and it was that line. Until we break it, we're staying out of this market, right? We talked about, though, one thing. We talked about the symmetry. We said, watch out. The breaking out, when we do break out, it could resemble a lot of how we went in. So far, that happens to be playing out, but it was very easy. And we did a video on it the day it happened, right? The only video we did on silver in probably a couple of months or a few months, and it was at that inflection point over here. But no, we're still holding the trend line, right? We're still holding the trend line. You know, you got to still continue to hold and push your position, right? If we break this trend line, by the way, to the downside, one of two things are going to happen, right? What the first thing that's going to happen is that we have actually a big sell-off. We have strong support down at 25.70. That could happen. I think it's a good time to take profits if that happens. That's a tough one, and it's up for you. You know, me personally, it's like I don't want to, pay attention. It's almost like hold the entry, keep the stop loss at break even, and push it to see if we're able to break that yearly high, 12-month high, and then challenge the all-time high on silver. That's the trade for me. If you're trading this and you're kind of like really concerned about it, right? As you break this trend line, either you're selling off or you're going to trade sideways for a little while, right? So is this a place that you'd want to take profit? If you're really focused in on the trade, I definitely think so. Watch that trend line. It's an important one. All right. Is it a little too tight? Listen, again, the only reason I do those rough strokes is to show you that, there you go. You want it. No, that's about as precise as I'll go. That's an important one over there. All right. What else is going on? Let me take a look at FX and see what's going on over there. We got 1,000 likes so far this session. That's pretty good. I want to amp ourselves up so I could get a second wind here to go into. Oh, Anthony, thank you for that heads up over there. Anthony smells it. You mentioned silver. He's got like all these alerts across the internet. And if you mention silver, Anthony pops in. He's like, what's up? It happens each and every time. So I believe is it true? Is it up to $50,000 now? Someone's talking about the max pain on Bitcoin. I thought it was 48,000, right? 50. I don't know what the max. Look, Alan Au on Twitter, right? The legend, Alan, he puts out the max pain for the options. He keeps us track of it. I thought it was 48,000 last I checked, or last I heard, I should say, from afar. So yeah, that's something to watch out for, by the way. Max pain is to the upside this time. And by the way, that would have us right on time, right? Right on time. And we'll continue tracking it, right? So what else? We wanted to talk about, someone asked about oil. Let's take a quick look at oil, right? Focusing on the technicals, right? So messy because I haven't been focusing on it, right? Messy because I haven't been focusing on what I'm focusing in on though right now. This trend line over here, you see if you extend it, is this where we bottomed out, or is that horizontal support, right? Well, it's both. It's actually both. You can follow my mouse to the left. I'm not going to draw in the line. It's a light line, and you can see that. Look, I don't have much to say about oil right now. It looks entirely healthy. It looks very bullish. What would happen to turn on oil, right? Look at this, actually. Do you see the consolidation taking place after the big up move? It continues to look good. It continues to look solid. Obviously, no one's a buyer up here. You buy down on the dip at the resumption out. No one's a buyer up here, but the market looks good. The market looks strong. The market looks healthy, right? Where will we have to break down in order to get a little bit worried about oil? Let's zoom out a little bit. Look at this major trend line break that we took out on oil. Breakout, retest, resumption, trying to make the new swing high up, right? Looks very, very healthy. Where's the breakdown, right? Would we have to break down below that strong support that I have super thick over there? What is that? Is that 56? This line over here, 56, 60? I think so, I think so. And any opportunity, any challenge of there is an opportunity to look for support to hold and to buy off of. the market looks healthy. The market looks healthy. Fixed hit. There we go. Max pain for the May 28th options this Friday is $50,000. Right? Max pain to the upside. Huh. Very interesting. Let's see what happens. Let's see if that puts us back right on time. When I say right on time, if we're trading at $50,000, come over here on the 28th, right? We're between that zone of where we were previous cycles lined up very well, between 40,000, between 45,000 and 51,000. All right, what else? Let's take a look over here. Let me jump down to the 8-hour. Let's take a look at FX, what's going on. The first thing I'm doing over here is I'm looking at the percentages of the day, and I see that the markets are pretty flat. The markets are very flat, right? I don't see anything. I'm looking at the percentages of all the currency pairs. Everything is almost unchanged, unchained capital, unchanged, right? What else do we see? What other observations can I make from afar? Nothing at all. All right. With that in mind, let's take a small look, right? And then look, this is interesting, by the way. You see, everyone sees it. Now, this is a breakout, right? You don't take the breakout here. You would wait for a retest and a resumption, right? When I say breakout, what am I talking about? You see the trend line I have over here? Trend line break to the upside. Now, this support I have over here, should I keep this here where it is? Should it be down over here where we just bottomed up, right? Or should now I be moving it up, right? Towards the top of this resistance is where I'm going to place it right now. There's not much to say. There's not much to do whatsoever right here. What I'm looking at when I look at this market, and do you see that we've ever since we've been consolidated, we've been from afar. Markets continue to consolidate over here for months. Now, consolidation does lead to an expansion. But, it's a slow move over here. It's not attractive at this moment. Now, if we get a nice breakout, a retest, and resume off, is that an opportunity to take a trade and lean in? Well, it seems like a high probability trade. It's not happening today, though, right? What about the Australian dollar, US dollar? Let's take a look. Again, it's just very sideways over here. It's, one of the most dangerous things you can do. I will not. One of the most. I don't think anyone should be trading a Dogecoin. That's just This is not the play. This is calculated returns, right? Speculating is not my thing. If you're trading the alts, by the way, I let everyone know well in advance, over a year in advance, and then 6 months in advance, and then 3 months in advance of when alt season was going to happen. So if anyone wanted to position into alts ahead, they could have done that. Right? Speculating on alts, that's not my thing. There's a lot of wackos out there, a lot of channels that do that kind of stuff. You're going to get wrecked. You're going to lose money. That's not for me. And I'm not calling you out by saying that he's trading. Heath is a master, right? And again, that's why we offer what we offer here at Conquering the Markets. If you want to lean into the altcoins, right? We got Heath and Brandon both focused in on it, right? I'm saying this is not what I'm doing. And I did say before even, I'm saying I'm not calling you out for that. I'm not calling you out for that. It's not my thing. It's not what I'm doing. It's not why I'm here. All right. So sorry, I got distracted over there about Doge. This is sideways, right? Does it seem like the time to lean in? Is it possible that the dollar, the DXY, is going to resume down? We looked at that, we just gave a good look at the DXY. We saw the breakdown from the channel. We saw the retest. The retest gave actually a fake out and now is looking to resume down. But it's not resuming yet. If the dollar, by the way, does break down, there's going to be a lot of opportunity because we're going to see a lot of moves against the dollar, right? If the dollar loses this area over here, then why, yes, that will offer an opportunity to trade against the dollar. It's not happening right now, right? So anyway, let's go back. Let's look at the euro. We looked at the Australian dollar versus the yen. We looked at the Australian dollar versus the dollar. What about the euro, right? Let me come back to a higher. So what's interesting about this is normally when we see a breakout to the upside of a channel like this, which it looks like we're seeing, right? What's a little bit fuzzy is this. What's a little bit fuzzy is this, is that we came up once and now we're coming up again. Whether or not like we need to clone that line, I don't know. Notice also one thing that's very different here is the slope of my line. This is a long, sharp ascending wedge, right? This pattern, if it breaks down, usually you could see a big and massive sell-off. Would we see massive risk come into the market? Is that possible if the Fed starts talking about tightening in the June meeting coming up, right? We're over the summer in Jackson Hole, right? What would cause this pattern to break down? What would cause fundamentally that yen strength? All those things are possibilities. Right now we're trading up. I wonder if you clone this line, by the way, so I'm gonna clone this line really quick, right? And I want to say, I don't know. Is that forcing it? Probably. Are they in symmetry touching it? Yeah. Should we just make this and keep it here just so we can see what happens in the future? Okay, let's do that just so we have that. But listen, what I was getting at, if you saw a breakout to the upside and then it was a sharp move, that's normally a euphoric blow off. That would mean that, this is the time to take profits into this move, right? Because after that, normally you would see a sharp sell-off. And breaking down below this support, that would trigger a pretty strong signal, right? And that could happen, it could happen next week or it could happen months from now. But it's something to be watching and tracking. It's clear what's going on over here. But there's no room for acting right here, right now. Euro US dollar, let's take a look over here. And we're seeing it looks almost like an exact clone of the DXY inverted, which it is, right? Obviously, the DXY is most heavily weighted towards the Euro US dollar. And you could see that as the DXY is coming down to see if it resumes out, this is also doing the same, okay? So, right now, not the time to act. Was it time to act into this area of support and holding the support? Of course, right? Right now, nothing going on. All right. What about the pound? Let me also do the pound Japanese yen, right? Pound Japanese yen, like pips away from the target at the beginning of the year before we broke this trend line I set out, right? And that was the target. We're pips away. Is it going to happen? It sure looks like it. If we break out to the upside over here, though, that could trigger a pretty big event, right? Let me check a look. That's a nice trend line over there. Breaking out above that area. By the way, this is just like general rule. Coming into a major resistance level after a prolonged move, you take profits. You take profits because if you break out, you then have another opportunity to position yourself back towards that trade. Right? So anyway, we're coming towards some pretty strong resistance, horizontal resistance, and trend line resistance. It's a big level, right? What about the pound US dollar? Right? It looks very similar to the Euro US dollar at this point. Both of them are coming up to test that swing high, looking for the resumption off. It's not a place to be in the market there, right? So with that in mind, I do want to look at just one or two crosses just to see if the crosses have been trending or not, because I have no idea. So I'll start with the Euro Australian dollar. Where's my Euro Australian dollar? There it is. Right? And not really, right? A lot of consolidation still. We just broke above an interesting support level. Hold on one second. You can see it over here. Dormant, the best advice I could give you, and it's really important advice, is not to look at Bitcoin again, but go back and watch the very beginning of the stream and watch the first 30 minutes or so and don't do anything else. I guarantee if you do that, if you decide to invest in yourself 30 minutes of your time, that you will have the clearest understanding of what is happening right now with Bitcoin than anywhere else you could find it. I guarantee that. But that's up to you if you do that or not, Hold on one second. All right. So pound US dollar, you know, in towards some resistance towards the top of this channel. There's no action here. There's no action. I was looking at the euro Australian dollar. All right, I'm going to come back to it. I saw that we broke out this resistance level. Not only did we break it, we've also, you know, retested it. Hold on. Stick with me. Let me show you what I'm talking about. All right, let me clean that up for you. Right, so this line over here of resistance, you can see that we broke above the resistance, retested it, and are looking to resume off of it. I mean, listen, two caveats. I mean, yes, that's conquering the markets all day long. You know, you have to ask yourself, listen, you know, I want to buy off support in an uptrend, right? Is this an uptrend? Well, I don't see an uptrend. Does that look like it's bottoming? Well, yeah, that looks like a rounding bottom, right? And I had the triangle over here, and then we could, you know, play around that. But is this the pair that I would be looking to? No, not for me. It's too soon. You know, whether or not this winds up being a bottom or not, I would still be looking to sell resistance, you know, and you got strong resistance up higher over here. This is not my style. It's not what I do. All right. So anyway, James, go to, you could search what's a pip and then put in baby pips. You know, that's probably what you want to do. And it'll give you a great definition and a really fun way to do it. I think we're going to play some honeymoon over here just to see if there's any questions we want to talk about. Otherwise, we're going to call it a session and prepare for the meeting over here with some of CTM's market cycle specialists and make sure that we are able to continue to keep our situational awareness, our focus, to go ahead and share that and lead everyone as we want to be and where we want to be. So let's play some honeymoon over here. So, I mean, what's interesting is I expected silver to be leading over here. And then I'm thinking the reason I wanted to check is that gold has been leading, but really it's not doing much. It's just really sideways coming back into this long-term resistance. Now it's my opinion, and I believe over here silver is going to resume out of over here. If we do see silver break out to a 12-month high, right? And gold continues to go in its current trajectory, I do believe that, in my opinion, that silver should outperform. But right here, they're both going sideways as they've been consolidating for months, and there's really no edge either which way, right? I don't really see a clear indication of one outperforming the other, right? I mean, at least I don't. There was something else I saw in there that I definitely wanted to discuss, but I forgot what it was, and that's all good. It doesn't matter. Listen, we came, we saw, we did what we needed to do. It was an important one. Thank you. Thank you so much. we're a little perplexed why she has not gone into labor yet. We thought for sure that it was gonna happen or is gonna happen any moment. We'll see. We don't know. But it could be today. She's seeing the doctor this morning, and if she's last we knew she was last week 3 centimeters dilated. For sure, they could be like, okay, you're staying here at the hospital. We don't know. So anyway, thank you for caring. Thank you for asking. Thank you so much, everyone, for all your support. So that's it, everyone. Just a clarification, about Dodge and Heath and everything. I think Heath is absolutely fantastic. I think Heath is the best of the best. I think Heath is featured on my channel for a reason. I love him like a brother, and I think for sure that if you want to know, right, about something, so I've never even pulled up a chart of Doge, So if you want to know, go follow someone that's really focused in on it and ask their opinion because they know better than me. That's for sure. All right, everyone, have a beautiful day, and I'll see you all soon.